Okay, today I have an athletic reformer flow for you. So this workout's geared very much towards runners or cyclists. This is going to be a strengthening workout for mostly the legs, the glutes, the quads, the hamstrings. We're definitely going to work that core because any time that we're dealing with Pilates, that core is involved, okay? I'm not going to focus too much on the arms. There's going to be some planking in there, so they'll get a little bit of work, but we're going to really work on strengthening those legs today, all right? So it's going to be a much more athletic flow. That heart rate's going to get up right away in the beginning, and then we're going to work on really making those muscles burn. All right, so let's do this. All right, we're going to start with the reformer on one light spring. So I have a studio reformer from Balanced Body. I traded one of my blue springs for a yellow spring, so it's an extra light spring. So that's what I'm going to be on for most of class. If you don't have an extra light spring, you can use your blue spring, which is your light spring, okay? All right, so we're going to start there. Come down onto the reformer, and we're going to start out with some teaser jumps. So I'm going to be propped up. You can either be propped up on your palms, fingertips facing you, or you can come all the way down onto your forearms. So wherever is most comfortable for you. All right, so I'm going to be up on my hands. I like that position in my body. I'm finding that nice, long, low back, belly button up and in, and I'm going to bring the balls of my feet to that foot bar right in front of me. Okay, from here, we're going to lengthen those legs all the way out and find that nice, long front of body. So you want a lot of space between that navel and that pubic bone, nice long length there, belly button up and into the spine. From here, my legs are in a closed parallel position and they're already starting to shake. So we're going to exhale as we bend both knees. Inhale, take it out for a little hop. Bend both knees, little hop. So as I leave that foot bar, I'm holding that teaser position, right? So that core is working hard to hold those legs up in space. I'm on that extra light spring, so I've got a lot of hang time here, making those legs shake a little bit more. Good, keep those inner thighs all zipped up, and I'm landing right on the balls of my feet. So I have a nice connection underneath that big toe, all the way to the base of that pinky toe. Good, nice long spine, lifting up out of that low back, pull that belly button up and in. You're here for 4, zipping up those inner thighs, last 3. We're going to swivel into first position in 2. Last 1. Go ahead and take those feet now and bring them into first position, heels together, toes turned out. Same thing, inhale, zip up those inner thighs, exhale as you land. Inhale, leave, exhale, land. Good. Every inhale drops that diaphragm, lengthening out through the torso, lifting up through the crown of your head. Make sure those shoulders are not shrugging up by your ears. If you are down on your forearms, I want you to make sure that you're not dumping into the shoulders. Good, holding that first position. Good, those legs are shaking. Really think about lifting up. We're here for 4. Good, last 3. Last 2. Good, on your next one we're going to go back to parallel. And now I'm going to take my left leg and I'm going to bring it just above that foot bar. So now I'm jumping only on that right leg. Left leg is hovering over the foot bar. Good, just a few here. Good. Last 2, and we're going to add an arm reach with our right arm. Good, on your next one, let's bring that right arm out, find that connection through the diagonal sling, lengthen and leave. Good, watch your landing on that foot bar. You've got that small space. Draw that belly button up and in. You're here for 4. That left leg should be shaking. Last 3. Whew. Last 2. Good, bring that hand back down. Both feet land. Right leg lifts over that foot bar. Left leg is now jumping. Finding full extension through that knee joint every time I leave the foot bar. Good, lifting up out of that low back. Let's add that left arm reach. Bring that left arm out. Good, tighten up that belly button. Nice length on the front of the body. Good, you're here for 4. Whole body's got a little shake going on. Last 3. Good, last 2. bring it all the way in. Woo! So good. All right, we're gonna come up off to the left side of our reformer. You're gonna add on all your springs. So no matter what color you have, light, heavy, doesn't matter, we want them all on so that that reformer doesn't move anymore, okay? We're gonna bring our left foot on top of the reformer, and you want it about 2 to 3 inches from the edge of the carriage, okay? My right foot is on the floor, and I'm gonna come up onto the ball of my right foot. My hands, they can either be on your, actually we're gonna bring them into play, but I'll bring them onto my hips to get you started. I want you to find a nice level pelvis. Okay, now as you work here, we're gonna drive the heart rate, but I want you to focus on what those hips are doing. Okay, so now we're gonna bring those arms up. We're gonna bring them into a skater position. So, right now my right arm is forward, my left arm is back. It's opposite arm to opposite leg. We're gonna drive that right leg up and switch those arms. So, I'm drawing that belly button up and in. I'm watching the alignment of my left knee in front of that left ankle. Good, this is meant to drive, whoop, lost my balance, meant to drive your heart rate here. This is a cardio push right here. Good, keep drawing that belly button up and in. Keep those hip bones moving together. Good, drive that right knee up. Good, putting all that weight into that left foot. You're here for 6. Good, for 5. Last 4. Last 3, last 2, and last 1, and bring it all the way down. That left leg should already feel some fire. That foot bar is always there if you need it for extra support on that. So now we're gonna bring that foot bar all the way down so it is now out of the way, okay? Let's change our springs back to that 1 extra light spring. Whew. Again, if you only have a glue, or a light spring, go there. Okay, now I have my extra platform on because we're gonna be doing a lot of lunging. So if you have an extended platform for the front of your reformer, grab it. Coming up onto that platform. My feet 4 inches apart, parallel. My left foot is gonna stay right there on the platform. Woo, my right foot is gonna take a step back. Okay, we're gonna come into some lunges. We're gonna exhale. As we bend that left knee comes in front of the ankle, line it up with big toe, second toe, inhale, bring the carriage in, exhale, lowering down into that lunge, inhale as you come back up, exhale as you lower. Good, so right here, I want you to think about that left knee and that left glute. How much length can you find on the front of that left leg, or on the top of that left leg? How much length from that kneecap all the way to the glute? I want you to think about 2 arrows shooting in opposition to find that reach through your left sits bone. That carriage is gliding back just because you are lunging. That is the only reason it moves. I'm not pushing it with my right foot. I'm simply allowing it to glide back. That's why we have that light spring. Good, I want all your attention and your focus on that left leg. Good, 4 more here. Good, both hip bones stay together. Last 3, torso tilts just a bit. Good, last 2. On your next one, you're gonna hold it low. Okay, so my left knee is still tracking in front of my ankle. It is right between that big toe and second toe. From here, we're gonna peel the left heel off the platform. So 1 inch up and down. 1 inch up and down. So I want you to think about that inner thigh. That inner thigh spirals towards the ceiling to pick up that heel. Finding that little lift. Your legs should shake on that lift. All that connective tissue working, those small little muscles. You got it. Nice big reach from that left kneecap all the way through the center of that left glute. You're here for 4. Last 3. Good, last 2. On your next one, you're gonna hold that heel up. From here, we're gonna give a little pulse through that left glute. So a little 1 inch up and 1 inch down. Good, I want you to focus all of your attention to the center of that left glute, that left sits bone. Good, a little narrow to pick you up. Good, you're here for 4. Good, last 3. Last 2. The left quad burns. On the next one, hold it there. Keep that heel lifted. Now my right leg's gonna work. That right knee is gonna pull under my hip. Inhale, extend it back out. Right knee pulls under the hip. Good, and then send it back out. Full extension of that knee joint every time. As that knee comes under you, I want you to think of that femur bone plugging up into that hip socket. Pull it up and in. Good, you guys, we got 4. Belly buttons up and in, nice and tight. Last 3, that psoas muscle is responsible for bringing that leg in. Last 2. Good, and give me 1 more here, 1 more. And bring it all the way up. Woo, step onto that platform. Find balance. Okay. We're gonna come right into a side lunge, okay? So, left foot's gonna stay on the platform, right foot to the carriage. We're staying on that extra light spring. I'm gonna take my feet into external rotation. Okay, so a slight turnout from the top of the hip. Now, my left foot is gonna stay right where it's at. That right leg is gonna glide out with the carriage. So, we're gonna exhale as we bend that left knee. Inhale, bring it all the way back up. Good, exhale, we're burning out that left side. Inhale, bring it back up. Good, bring it into the bumpers. Exhale, gliding out simply because I am lunging and sitting back into that left hip. That's the only reason the carriage moves. Okay, I want you to find that alignment of that left knee in front of the ankle. Track it with big toe, second toe. Inhale, back up. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, draw it up. Good. 4 more here. Good. Last 3. Last 2. We're going to be holding it low. You know that hold is coming. Good, we've got 1 more and we're gonna hold it low. And the next one, we're gonna hold it right there. Good, now from here, left heel peels. Peel that left heel up just like we did before, set it down. Good, peel it up, set it down. Little lift, little lower. Good, you've got it. Should be shaky, it should feel shaky. Good, you've got it. You're here for 4. Last 3. Last 2. Pressing down through the ball of your foot. On the next one, you're gonna set that heel down, draw it all the way back in. Now we're gonna bring those feet back to parallel. Okay, so all 10 toes shining straight forward. We're gonna come into a skater. Take that right foot now, and let's take it to the back edge of that carriage. So you've got a little angle. That right leg is behind the midline of my body. Okay, so it's a little bit behind me. Left foot planted on that platform in parallel. Here we go. We're gonna send the carriage out. Hold it right there. Make sure you're sitting back into that left hip. And now we're gonna draw that right knee in and send it back out. Draw it in, femur bone plugs up into the hip. Send it out. Good, so you can bring the arms into this then. Good, so now we're skating on that right side. Left leg is nice and stable. You got it. Good, stay here, keep drawing that belly button up and in. I've got that slight tilt of the torso because I'm sitting back with that left sits bone so much. Okay, that's the only reason that torso tilts. I've got my arms mixed up, there we go. Good, you've got it. Woo, you're here for 4. Good, last 3. Last 2. Good, bring it all the way up on the next one. Okay, let's bring those feet back to parallel. Okay, they're staying in parallel, but now they're level, they're even with each other, okay? That right foot is no longer behind you. Okay, from here, we're gonna squeeze the carriage into the bumper. Okay, so right away, I want you to feel those inner thighs light up and pick up into that pelvic floor. So I want you to think about drawing the pelvic floor up and in, low belly is lifted, belly button is up and in between those shoulder blades. From here, we're gonna take those fingertips, palms facing in, bend those knees just a bit, so we have a little plie. Okay, tailbone's pointed straight down. Knees are soft, they're gonna stay that way. We're gonna exhale as we bend forward, tilting at the torso, reach for that carriage and platform, hold it in against the bumper, and then draw it all the way back up. Keep those knees soft. Torso tilt, bends forward. Okay, we're hinging at the hips, and then all the way back up. I'm not letting that carriage glide out, not at all. Keep that back nice and flat. Shoulder blades down and around the ribs, belly button up and in, reaching those sits bones back. Like that deadlift position is basically what this is. Good, you've got 4 more. Keep drawing that carriage up and in. I want you to feel those legs should be shaking. Good, last 3. Last 2. Good, last 1. And draw it all the way in. Nice job, you guys. Okay, step onto that platform for stability. Okay, and now we're gonna come into a kneeling open close. So we're gonna keep that left knee working on the platform. Right knee is gonna come onto the carriage. Now I want you to find a position where your shins are heavy. Your shins can be heavy and flat. Okay, so we're gonna work it out on your platform. Make sure your ankle isn't hitting anything. And you've got a nice position where those knees are in alignment with one another. Hips are level, belly button's pulled up and in. Let's reach down and take off all of our springs. So whether you had an extra light spring or a light spring, take it off so you have no springs at all, okay? My hands, I'm just using them to level out my pelvis. I like to always kind of check for that alignment. Those ASIS bones shining straight forward, okay? From here, we're gonna open up the arms to a T, open up the inner thighs, and then we're gonna exhale as we zip it all back up. Inner thighs pull up and into the low belly. Open it up, and then bring it all the way up and in. Good. Those arms are kind of mimicking what the body is doing. You should be pretty shaky here. My body is shaking a lot. Good. Pull up and in. Try not to grip with the booty. I'd rather you think about the inner thighs picking up and into that low belly. Good. 4 more like this. We're going to add a torso rotation. In 3. Pull it up and in. Stay tall. Keep that sternum over the pubic bone. Good. Last 2. Good. On the next one, you're going to open. Arms are in a T. Now, holding it right there, we're going to rotate our waistline to the right. Hips stay pointing forward. Bring it all the way back and bring it all the way in. Good. Open arms to a T. Good. Rotate just from the waist. Bring it all the way back. Close up those inner thighs. Good. 4 more like that. Rotating from the waist. Good. Bring it back. Close up those inner thighs. Last 3. Good. Use that inhale to rotate, separating the vertebrae. Good. Last 2. Whew, body shaking a lot. Good. Last 1. Rotating the torso. Good. Bringing it all the way back in. Now, holding the carriage in again. Inner thighs squeezing up and into the low belly. We're going to reach the sits bones back for the heels. And then bring it all the way up. Good, don't let that carriage move like I just did. Reach those sits bones back. Bring it all the way up. Holding the carriage against the bumper. We're not letting it go anywhere. I'm hinging at that seat crease. Reaching those sits bones back for my heels. Good. Hold that belly button up and in. Good. You've got 4 more. Good. Last 3. We're coming into a side plank next. Good. Last 2. Reach, reach, reach. Good. 1 more. And bring it all the way up, guys. So good. Woo. Okay, before you go anywhere, let's add that extra light spring back on. Extra light or light, whatever you have. Now, my left forearm is going to come down onto my platform. So left forearm down, knees on the carriage. Okay, so you want to find a side plank. That elbow is directly underneath my shoulder, okay? My knees are stacked, my hips are stacked, okay? And the front side of my body is nice and open. Okay, so I want to keep that nice and open. Belly button pulled up and in, and I'm lifting up out of that waistline. Let's bring that right arm up and overhead. Good, now from here, the right leg is going to extend. You want to bring that right leg long, toes right between those shoulder blocks. Now from here, we're going to take a big reach with that right arm. Right arm is going to reach up and overhead, little side flexion through that right waistline. And then as we bring it up, we're going to reach for that ankle. Good, and then over the head, and then reach for the ankle. Now, I'm keeping my leg in parallel. I'm not rotating like this, okay? I want you to keep the leg, the toes pointing straight forward. Everything stays in parallel, and I'm just finding that reach. You should feel the top side of that glute turn on, that right waistline. Good, nice big reach. You've got 4 more. Good, I'm staying lifted up out of that left hip, so that left abductor, those left abductors are working hard to hold me up. Last 2. Good, on the next one, you're gonna hold it right there. So right arm straight up towards the ceiling over that shoulder, right leg is extended. We're going to take that right arm now and we're going to sweep it under the left waistline and bring it all the way back up. Hold that alignment of that left elbow under that left shoulder. Sweep under the waistline and then bring it all the way back up. 4 more. Sweep. Good. Bring it up. Little rotation through that waist. Last 3. Good. Last 2. Good, you've got it. We've got 1 more here. 1 more, sweep it under and bring it all the way up and set those knees down. Come all the way back in. Okay, guys, we're going to center out before we take the other side. So we're going to do a kneeling forward facing plank. So hands are going to come flat onto that platform. You're going to bring your knees back from the edge. So your shins are heavy. My knees are probably about 6 to 8 inches from the edge of the carriage. You're going to lengthen all the way out. So your shins are heavy and your hips are down in alignment with the rest of your body. Okay, so nice long spine. We're not piking the hips up. We're nice and long on the front body. Now from here, we're going to go straight into an extended plank. But before we do that, I want you to slightly externally rotate the palms. Get those biceps to spiral forward so the little crease of the inside of your elbow faces forward. Okay, that's going to get you into the upper mid-back. Pull that belly button up and in. Your eyes are on the floor so the back of your neck is nice and long. We're going to go straight into an extended plank. We're going to inhale as we send those shoulders back away from the wrists. And then we're going to exhale as we draw it all the way back in. Shoulders over wrists. Good, send it all the way out till you find that shake through the body. Keep that belly button pulled up and in, and then draw it all the way back in. I want you to think about keeping your ribs closed like a book. Okay, everything is pulled up and in at the center of your body. Good. Working through those shoulders. Good, keeping that body nice and long. Good, you've got 4 more here. Feel the sides of the waistline kick on with every exhale as you drag that carriage in. Drag and tighten through the waist. Good, last 2. Pull it in. Good, last 1. Good, and when you get back to start, you're going to hold it there. Let's take a little push-up. Bend those elbows, they go wide, bring it all the way up. Let's take that extended plank back. Good, bringing it all the way in, adjust your hands if you need to. Little push up, extend that plank out. Good, 4 more like that. Little push up, pick it up, inflate between those shoulder blades, send it all the way back out. Last 3. Good, all the way back out. Last 2, keep drawing that belly button up and in. Good, one last one, here we go. And send it all the way out. Good, now we're not done, not yet. Bring it all the way back into start, okay? Shoulders over your wrists from here. We're gonna come into a little forward flexion. You're gonna exhale, nod the chin, round the spine, scoop that belly. Carriage glides in just a little. And then you're gonna inhale as you unfold. Exhale, nod the chin, pull that belly up and in, little flexion through the spine, and then release. Exhale, round and curl, and bring it out. Good, try to kiss the bumpers with the carriage. Good, you've got 4 more. Good, last 3. Don't let those shoulder blades take over. Inflate between those shoulder blades. Last 2. Good, last 1. And bring it all the way back to start. All right, bring it in. We're gonna go right onto that side plank, other side. So leaving that extra light spring. Right forearm is gonna come down. So my back's gonna be to you guys now. Right forearm is down. Found that alignment of that left elbow underneath that, that right elbow underneath that right shoulder. Okay, go ahead and get that carriage out a little bit. My kneecaps are about 6 inches away from the edge of the carriage. Bring that left arm up towards the ceiling. Draw that belly button up and in and stay lifted through the waistline. Whew, okay, from here, we're gonna lengthen that left leg all the way out so it's between the shoulder blocks. From here, we're gonna do that little reach. So the left arm's gonna reach up and overhead. That bicep lines up with the ear. And then as I come back, I reach for that ankle. Good, lengthen overhead. Keeping that left leg in parallel, okay? I'm not rotating through that femur bone in the hip socket. It's staying in parallel. Good, I'm finding that lift from the top of the hip. Good, last 4. Last 3, exhale as you reach. Inhale overhead. Last 2. Good, last 1. Holding it back at start. Now, that left hand is gonna sweep under that right waistline, staying lifted out of my right shoulder. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale, sweep. Inhale, bring it back. Good, 4 more. Good, last 3. Hold that alignment. Good, last 2. Good, 1 more. And bring it all the way in. Woo, so good. All right, we're gonna go into that kneeling open close. So before you take off any springs, get that right shin onto the platform. Okay, right shin is on the platform. My left shin's on the edge of the carriage. Find a position where those shins are nice and flat, okay? Knees are level with one another, belly buttons pulled up and in, sternum over pubic bone. Reach down, take off that yellow spring, okay? Find that alignment again. Hip bones pointing straight forward, so we're not rolling the hips. Hip bones down for that anterior tilt, or tucking the glute and squeezing the glute. We don't want that either, okay? So find that nice neutral pelvis. From here, arms start down. We're gonna inhale as we open the carriage, open those arms into a T. Good, close and zip up those inner thighs as you draw the low belly up and in. Inhale as you open out. Exhale as you bring it all the way in. You should find that shake. Inhale, open. Good, bring it all the way up and in. Good, keep it going here. You got it. Good. We're going to add that torso rotation in 4 more. Squeezing with those inner thighs, low belly, not my glutes. Good. Last 2. Good. Last 1. Good. On the next one, you're going to open it up. Open those arms to a T. Hold. We're going to rotate to the left just from the waistline. My hips don't move. And then I bring it all the way back to start and zip up those inner thighs. Open on that inhale. Rotate towards that left side. Bring it all the way back to center and zip up through the inner thighs. Should be pretty shaky by now. Good. We've got 4 more. Good. Last 3. Good, here's our last one. Opening it up, rotating. Good, bring it all the way back to start. Close it up. And now hands come to the hips. We're gonna find that little reach through those sits bones. Carriage is up against that bumper. We're gonna reach back with those sits bones. We're not gonna let the carriage glide out at all. I'm hinging at the hips. Inhale as I rise all the way back up. Belly buttons up and in as I hinge back with those sits bones, reaching back. Good, and then I bring it all the way up and in. Don't let that carriage move. Good, reaching long. Good, you've got 4 more. Good, last 3. Good, shaking the last 2. Good, last 1. Really reach, keep that carriage in, don't let it go anywhere. And bring it all the way up. So good. Reach down, add that extra light spring back on. And we are going to come into that side lunge to skater. So you're going to bring that right foot onto the platform, left foot onto the carriage. Okay, now we're going to start with our feet in alignment with each other, but they're externally rotated. So we're rotated from the hip just a bit so those toes angle outward, okay? From here, we're gonna reach back into that right hip, finding the alignment of the right knee over the ankle, in front of the ankle, and between big toe, second toe. Reaching that right sits bone back. Inhale as I glide back up. Left leg stays nice and straight. Reaching back through that right side, belly button pulls up and in. And then I lift up through the inner thighs and low belly to bring the carriage in. Exhale, reaching back. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale. Inhale, reach. 4 more here. We're gonna hold it low. Good, holding it low in 3. Good, finding that full extension through that right knee. We don't want to hold a baby bend there. Last 2. Last 1, and we're holding right here. Okay, so we're reaching back with that right sits bone. My right ankle is going to, now I'm going to lift, sorry, my right heel. So I'm going to peel that right heel up 1 inch and set it down. Lift it up 1 inch and set it down. I've got nice connection through the base of my big toe and the base of my pinky toe. Lifting that ankle straight up and down. Try not to roll through that ankle joint. Good, it should feel really shaky. Good, you're here for 4. Last 3. Last 2. Woo. Good, set that heel down. Bring it all the way back in. Now we're going to come into skater. So we're going to bring those legs back to parallel. All 10 toes shine straight forward. Let's take that right leg now, those right toes, left toes, and bring them towards the edge of the carriage, back edge of the carriage. From here, we're gonna reach back through that right sits bone again, hold it there. So I've got that alignment through my right kneecap, reaching back through my right sits bone. Remember, I've got long length from my right kneecap to my right sits bone. From here, I'm gonna draw that left knee in. Inhale, send it out. Good, we're gonna add those arms. So just like those skater arms. Good, opposite arm, opposite leg. Good, even though that right leg isn't moving, we're kind of mimicking it. Drawing that left femur bone up into the hip as I draw it in. Good, try to kiss the bumper every time you bring that carriage in. Good, you've got it. We're here for 6. That right quad should feel a little burn. Last 5. Good, for 4. Belly button's pulled up and in. Last 3. Last 2. Good, and last 1. And bring it all the way up. So good. All right, both feet in alignment again. Both in parallel. We're gonna hold that carriage up against the bumper now. So already we feel both feet are pulling into the center of the body. So those inner thighs are lit up, and so is that low belly. Pull that belly button up and into the spine. Now we're going to soften those knees. Okay, so baby bend those knees, little demi-plie. Our palms are facing in. We're going to fold at the hips, reaching for the carriage of the platform, fingertips tap, and then I come all the way back up. Knees do not change, they stay soft. Reaching back into those glutes. You should feel shaky holding that carriage up against the bumper. Keep drawing that belly button up and in, giving a little fire to that posterior chain right here. Good. You've got 4, hold it in. Good. Last 3. Good. Last 2. Good. Last 1. And bring it all the way up. Relax. Step onto that platform with both feet. And now we're going to come into that forward lunge. So again, staying with that right leg. Right leg is the stable leg now. Right foot is in parallel. That left foot's going to take a natural step back to the carriage. Find your balance, okay? Now my hands are going to come into this, they're going to come overhead. So I've got the ball of my left foot planted on the carriage, natural step back. Right leg is flat on the platform, fully extended through the knee joints. Exhale as you fold at the right knee, reaching that right sits bone back. Inhale, all the way back up. Exhale as you lower down, finding the alignment for that right kneecap just in front of the ankle. Line it up with big toe, second toe. That alignment is really important as you work to protect that knee joint. It is a very small assembly of joints there. Good, so we really want to protect that knee. And again, for runners and cyclists, that can be problem area. So this whole workout is really meant to strengthen those areas. Keep drawing that belly button up and into the spine. Both hip bones work together. We've got 4 more here. Finding full lift out of that right knee so that quadricep can absorb, so that kneecap can absorb back up into the quadricep every time we stand back up. Good, last 3. Good, last 2. On your next one, you're going to hold the lunge. Okay, from here, we've got that little slight torso tilt forward. My right heel is going to peel. Peel that right heel up 1 inch, set it down. All of your attention is in that connection of the ball of the right foot. So underneath the right big toe, all the way to the pinky toe, pressing down there to get a straight lift up through that heel. Okay, the inner thigh works to pick up that heel. You're here for 4. Good, last 3. Last 2. Hold that right heel up now. We've got a little pulse through that right glute. Tiny little lift and lower. 1 inch up, drags the carriage in just a bit. Good, holding that balance with that little shake for 4. Good, last 3. If you have to set your heel down, go ahead and do that. Last 2. Good, on the next one, holding it low, heel is still lifted. Left knee drags under that left hip. Inhale, take it out. Good, drag it under the hip. Inhale, take it out. That left psoas muscle at the base of the core right there, the top of that femur bone, it's attached to the femur bone, that pulls that leg in. That's responsible for that movement. Good, folding that knee under the hip for 4. Woo. Last 3. Good, last 2. And bring it all the way in. That's pretty shaky. Almost lost it there on you guys. All right, come down off to the right side of the reformer. All right, we're gonna take that back. We're gonna add all springs back on. So all springs, we're gonna do that little cardio push. All springs on. Okay, here we go. So point of that is we don't want the carriage to move right now. This is a cardio drive, building that heart rate. Not like it's not there already. Still working on that right leg. So right foot comes to the top of the reformer. My heel is about 3 to 4 inches away from the edge. I'm going to come onto the ball of my left foot. Okay, so I'm ready to drive through that left knee. My arms are going to be in those skater arms. So left arm forward, opposite of my right leg. And then we're going to switch. So we're going to pull up and down. So this is quick. Good. Fast tempo. Find your balance here. So especially because that right leg is tired. Okay, it's going to take a minute. It takes me a minute to find my groove. Good, you want to find that drive. Good, it's meant to pick up that heart rate here. Good, pull that belly button up and in. I want you to focus on the lift of that left leg coming from that psoas muscle at the top of the femur bone. We got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Woo. And bring it all the way down. Nice job. Shake it out. Okay, we're gonna come into our last exercise, really working on that core a little bit deeper. So all springs off except for your extra light spring, okay? Light spring. Coming all the way down, rear facing, okay? So I'm facing the back of my machine. I'm gonna take my loops off and I'm gonna lie all the way down. Now, when you come down, watch your head because you've got no support under the head, okay? So just watch where you set it down briefly. Scoot your booty all the way close to the shoulder blocks. Once you're there, we're gonna bring those feet into the short loops like a pair of sandals, okay? Now you can get a little closer to the shoulder blocks once you've got your feet up in that tabletop position. Short loops are across the top of my foot, like a pair of sandals, okay? Now, before we do anything else, I want you to find a neutral spine. Shins parallel to the floor, knees over your hips. We want to find those hip bones, make sure they're pointing straight up so that we get that natural curve to our spine. Little tiny lift in the low back, belly button pulled up and in, ribs are closed. Hands are going to come behind the head and we're going to take an ab curl. So, exhale, curl the tips of the shoulder blades off the carriage. You should already be shaking. Okay, from here, both legs are going to extend. So we're gonna exhale, lift those legs straight up, and then fold back at the knee. Good, lengthen, and bring it down. Now if those loops shift on you, that's fine. That is fine. If they come over the ankle, let them be there, okay? I want you to focus on your form, not where those loops are. Good, kneecaps are over the hips. Good, I've got that little lift. My chin is away from my chest. Think about lots of length on the front body. Good, 4 more. We're gonna come into a single-sided movement in 3. Good. Last 2. Good. On your next one, hold tabletop. Now, only my left leg is going to extend and I'm going to take an ab twist and bring it back. Left leg, curling my right ribs to my left inner thigh and back. Left leg. So it's not about the right elbow finding the left knee. No, it's about the right ribs finding the left inner thigh. Find that curl, pick that right shoulder blade up off the carriage. Good. 4 more here. Good. Woo. Last 3. You can tell I'm getting tired. Good. Last 2. Last 1. Bring it back to tabletop. Here goes the right leg. Right leg extends, little ab twist. Bring it back. Find that extension. Left ribs to right inner thigh. Keep those knees over the hip. You've got it. We got 4 more. Last 3. Whew. This is it. Last 2. And 1 more. And bring it all the way down. Woo, so good. Reach forward, grab those loops. Take them off the feet and bring them around the shoulder blocks for just a minute. Hug those knees into your chest. That should feel really good if you have some support under the head. If not, you can go ahead and sit up. We're going to come forward facing, and we're going to do some legs and straps to finish this up, okay? Nice to kind of just stretch out the body and let it release. So add a light spring on. So you have an extra light and a light. Now if you only had a light spring to begin with, you can add another light spring on if you'd like, or just stay there. Go ahead and lie down on your back, and then reach back and grab those loops. Now the long loops. Long loops are going to come over your feet, over the arches of your feet. Okay, shoulders up against the shoulder blocks. Now right away, we're going to bring those legs straight up towards the ceiling and find a neutral pelvis. Belly button pulled up and in. That little lift, it's very small underneath your low back. In other words, we don't want to press the low back into the carriage, okay? We want to keep that natural curvature of the spine. So whatever point you need to be at to get those hip bones to point straight up, that's where you want to be. We want to keep lots of length on the front body between the navel and the pubic bone. Keep that length there, okay? From here, those legs are going to hinge down to a 45-degree angle, and then we're going to open them up the width of the machine and circle up and around to start. Lengthen down to a 45 on an inhale. Exhale, open. Inhale, zip it close. Exhale again. Inhale as you lengthen. Find the breath pattern that works for you. I don't focus on that too much here. This is meant to release through the body now. Good, keep pulling that belly button up and in. Good, 2 more in this direction. Little leg circles. Good, on the next one when those legs are back at start, we're gonna open at the top, circle down and around and zip up at that 45-degree angle. Bring them back up. Open, circle down and around, zip up the inner thighs, close up that low belly, bring it up. Good, 3 more. Last 2. Good, last 1. Good, the next time you're back at start, we're going to reach up, grab the short loops, and let the soles of the feet come together. We're going to pull on the short loops to get our heels as close to our pelvis as possible. Okay, so we're not opening up the front of the hips, not yet. We're just pulling those heels in towards the pelvis. You can use those elbows to open up the inner thigh a little bit by pressing on the knee. Just letting your body release. A few big breaths here. Good, for 4. Last 3. Good, last 2. Letting go of all that tension. Good, go ahead and let the front of the hips open up now as you let the feet, they're staying together, the soles of the feet are together, but we drop them down into the springs. So I'm releasing the short loops, those straps come across the inner thigh, and just let the front of the hips open up. Good. Now here again, you don't really want to go into an anterior tilt, so you want to keep that neutral pelvis. Good, holding it here, not overarching that low back. It's a natural curve. We're here for 4. Good, last 3, last 2. Good, bringing those heels back to the pelvis. Now, holding onto your short loops one more time. I'm going to hold my left foot in, and I'm going to let that right leg open out to the side for a little bow and arrow stretch. opening up that right inner thigh. Feel a nice stretch in my left one as well. Holding it here for 4. My right foot is flexed. Last 3. Last 2. Good. Folding that right heel back to the pelvis. Opening up that left leg. Good. And holding it there. Getting a nice stretch through that left inner thigh now. Good. Feeling it through both actually. Good. Holding it here for 4. Last 3. Last 2. Bring it all the way back. Good. Go ahead and take those loops off the feet. Go ahead and reach back and you're just going to hang them up. And now staying on your back, we're going to take that left foot to the platform. Right ankle is going to come over the left thigh. I'm going to lace my hands behind the left thigh and I'm going to pull that left leg close to my chest as my right elbow opens up my right inner thigh. I'm going to take that left leg, extend it towards the ceiling. And as I bend my left knee back, I'm going to press that right ankle in towards my chest a little deeper. Getting a nice stretch through that right glute for 4. Good. Last 3. Last 2. Go ahead and slowly release back to the platform. Right foot comes down to the platform. Left ankle comes across the right thigh. Lace those hands behind the right thigh. Let that left elbow press the left knee open a bit, bringing that right thigh close to the chest. I'm going to extend my right leg up to the ceiling, and as I fold my right knee, I'm going to press that left ankle closer to the chest, getting a nice big stretch through that left glute. You're here for 4. Good. Last 3. Last 2. Release that foot back down to the platform. Good. Give both knees one big hug into the chest. You can rock from side to side if that feels good. Massaging that lower back. Good for 4. Last 3. Last 2. Go ahead and roll all the way back up and you are all set. All set. I hope that was a nice, sweaty, shaky, strengthening workout for you again. That was meant as a much more athletic flow. Okay, so less stretching, more strengthening, more toning. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions for me, you can always leave questions below the video on YouTube, or you can DM me at JessPFit. I'm always happy to answer questions. Or if you have suggestions or things you'd like to see, I'm happy to address those as well. All right, guys, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.